Hello and welcome everyone to episode 196 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read-through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derrick Bittner, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm, of course, freelance letterer extraordinaire Brandon Bovia, and just without mincing words, right? We are ending the Reverie. We are starting Wano. That is this episode. We are, and it hit me. We are starting the arc that was current, just barely current, when we started this podcast.
Do you remember what chapter it would have been that was current when we started the podcast? Because I think that was 3 years ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah, because the show started January 2022, and we banked episodes a little bit before that. I could check fairly easily, but I don't remember off the top of my head. It's not like right near the end, but I would say probably somewhere like in the last third, probably if I had to guess, because it was like 2022.
Yeah, because I remember. I know it's after chapter 1000 because before we started this, because that's sort of what got me thinking about One Piece again.
Okay. Yeah.
It was definitely towards the end of Wano, in that regard.
Mm.
But I know that everybody's talking about or maybe it's I think it was the 1000th chapter everybody's talking about, and eventually the 1000th episode happened, and it got me thinking, and it's like, I wonder if I could do this.
Yeah, because I remember when Gear 5 appeared, we had already been doing this show. Because I remember that was one of those things that was like, it was unavoidable, right? To just yes, we know. Then we couldn't really avoid it. So is at some point before that?
Yeah,
of course, I'm not
somewhere in between there. I don't know the numbers.
This is a huge milestone, is what I'm trying to convey, and I feel like, kind of like as we're sort of building up to our 200th episode, I really feel like, I don't know, this is a new era for the manga. I think just straight up, the things that start getting put into place around here is it's kind of much like kind of the reveals in Zoe. It kind of feels like the beginning of the end.
And I don't know about the beginning of the, well, in one aspect from the Reverie, yes, the beginning of the end is just as far as what was introduced. But just a new era, certainly, with just the art style of that, which we'll get into when we get into Wano properly. This is, there's just so much that it feels like this is the thing that Oda's been waiting to get to for such a long time, and he's finally gotten to that point. And there's
100%.
So many pieces in play.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think I'll talk about kind of the direction that we're headed towards once we get to sort of the Wano half of this episode, because we still got a little bit of Reverie left, kind of most of it.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna mince words. Let's just get to it, because I want to talk about this stuff.
Let's do it. Yeah. No, this is probably, it might be as long as last week, maybe a little shorter. We'll see. Strap yourselves in.
Let's do it. Chapter 906, Sacred Mary Joa. And we get some more time with Orlumbus. By 10 a.m., it's time for a clean check. If you're not good enough, you get beat down. I love that we have little Columbus. I don't know if Columbus is a boy or girl, but it's kind of adorable.
Yes.
Orlumbus is just a wide man. Good God.
He is. I feel like in the context of Dressrosa, where everybody's kind of larger than life, he doesn't stand out much. But amongst normal people, you're right. This man is an absolute unit.
It's amazing. I'm kind of finding myself liking Orlumbus more and more as we get through these chapter pages. I think it was kind of the point of all this.
Yeah. I definitely think the reveal last week was he's the what was it, the wakes up at 5 a.m. and folds all of his clothes and he's that type of guy. I think that is more characterization than he ever really got in Dressrosa.
Oh, completely.
Which I think is great. Yeah.
But let's get into it as the Bonda arrives at the top of the red line. We have to leave the altitude. We're leaving the altitude range of the bubbles, so the mermaids need to switch into reinforced bubbles now, so they can still, move. And again, the size of everything here is breathtaking. This large, long staircase until they reach the tallest and largest continent in the world, located directly in the center of all the seas. And like, you know, we got some very big people here between Shirahoshi and Neptune, and they're still specks compared to this staircase.
I really want to see how this scene looks like in the anime, and I really want to see like. I really love the implication, just like the giant stone statues, right? Kind of like on both sides. And really, this being kind of like our first real kind of good look at Mary Joa. Like, I don't, like, this is just sort of that world building this is that nice media world building.
Well, you know, they always, it's sacred Mary Joa. It's, you know, the celestial dragons. It's heaven. There's a lot of heaven imagery there. And you see this. Yeah, it looks like you're ascending to heaven with these gates. It
really
does.
And
these warriors and the gates at the end, and then you get to the next panel where you see the stately place that is Mary Joa and that giant building and a man-made forest. It's like, good God, it's so big.
Yeah. Well, it's wild too because it's like it's all about scale, right? Because when we see Mary Joa from like above, and we see it in the context of the red line, and you're like, it's this tiny little dinky little spot where all the rich people hang out. But like in context, you know, it really does. It feels like a whole manga could take place here.
Oh, easily. Like somebody could start here and just you know, I want to get out there and see the world or whatever, and just get this place or whatever you want to do with it. It's once again playing to the strength of Oda, just building up scale with so much of what he does.
I really feel like strength of setting is such a good theme for the set of chapters.
Yeah, because it's a place we've heard about. We've seen glimpses, not even glimpses. We've just been inside buildings within Mary Joa, not fully understanding what it's all about.
We've not seen the broader context, and I think that like the Reverie's going to be really, really good for that.
And there's still a lot. Like there's a whole city beyond that we can't see. We're just in this one palace.
And that's like the implications of scale. I think that's just another thing that Oda's always been really, really good at. And I love the little bit of world building we get as well, where like one of like the knight looking guys, you know, he's like, Princess Shirahoshi, please use this coupling rod, and you know, she gives her a little like or a big like walking stick that kind of pokes into the ground, and it's like, oh, it moves, and it kind of. You know, it feels like a very fitting piece of technology for a place with a bunch of like rich, lazy hacks.
Yeah, you get those.
The Travelator.
Yeah, the Travelator, and I forget what they're called in real life at the airports and whatnot. That kids love to run on because you get to go faster. But it's you know, it again, just showing it Stelly is just so freaking pathetic. It's like, oh, was that an earthquake? I'm dying. Protect me. It's like,
oh yeah.
He is meant. I mean, he is already destined to be a freaking celestial dragon the way he acts.
And well, I love it too because it's one part technology and one part like society, and I love that Fukaboshi. I feel like he's kind of like so he's just like, why don't we stroll along the normal walkway? You know, it's like, I know you want to see the forest, Shirahoshi. It's like, let's just take up our soak up the beautiful sights. And then of course, I love that Stelly just a page earlier was like, oh god, what's happening? And now he's just kind of like, stupid fish.
I bet they're just afraid of the tools of civilization. And
exactly right. Like he's just nothing.
And he gets the name wrong. He calls it a true blooter instead of a travelator. And it's just you can call it that as well. It's just like he's stupid. But the character building on Fukaboshi, where he's just like, I just have a bad feeling about that thing. And then the Oda shows underground they have slaves pulling those rods that they have that they hold on to, and it's what's going through there. And the guy's just like, help me, kill me, just oh god. Not too fast, not too slow. Like it is just
not too slow.
From top to bottom on every aspect of this. It just immediately shows built on the back of slaves and the poor and the downtrodden, where you have this majesty, but that underbelly is as rotten as ever.
Yeah, exactly. And you would think oh, maybe in a setting that is meant to serve this, like, everybody here is a celestial dragon, so you would think, like, oh, you know, maybe everybody's good, right? But, like, no. Somebody has to be under the boot at all times. So it is, of course, no surprise that, Mary Jo is just completely run on slave labor.
Yeah. It's sick. And then, oh, God. Let's go to the next.
Yeah, oh, God is right.
And...
yeah.
Charlos is back, and he spawns Shirahoshi. Ugh.
Yeah, and he's still obsessed with mermaids.
Yeah. Oh. It's just like, seriously, seeing that, it's like, oh no.
You're just like, oh god, not this guy.
But that's when we learned that the name of this castle is Pangea Castle, where everything's opening up.
Which I feel like implications, maybe.
Some implications, could just be a name. You never know how it's all going to be or what exactly Oda's going for. But there's aspects here that can work. But I like that it's just immediately like, here's the mingling courtyard. Everybody gets all the royalty gets to talk with each other and actually get to hang out, because it's all meetings for the next 7 days where nothing else gets done. Which, you know what? Feels like an E3 convention. Feels like the convention.
Exactly right.
That's what this is.
Yeah. Well, and of course it's interesting too that or is it somebody kind of commentates like, oh, the weapons have been confiscated, but everybody still got their guards. Everybody looks like they mean business, and so on the surface, things look like they're going well. Everybody's just kind of mingling.
And then you get this wonderful moment where, of course, all these men see Shirahoshi's like, you're beautiful. What do you think of my son? He's single. And hey, not so fast tonight. I got a son too. And it's just like these men is like, I like him. It's like, no, consider my boy mermaid princess. Oh, but I have 3 beautiful sons. And it's just like, you're not my type. Just to call back to the whole thing.
And then that's... yeah, and then it's like, oh, she almost caused an international incident.
It's just like,
they're all like, how dare you shame me?
I'm not married either. He's like, how dare you shame me? It's like, no, Shirahoshi, you got to tell a little white lie. It's like, oh, I'm flattered, or perhaps I'll have dinner sometime. She's like, I'm not good at lying. You're not lying. You're just not brushing them off. You're just brushing them off because you can't hurt their pride.
Yeah, not cut out for politics, that one. Maybe for the best.
Really. But also, I do love the honesty. Just the fact that...
yes.
And the callback to Van Decken, of course. But it's
very good, yeah. I feel like these scenes hold up a lot better, like, the more Fishman Island is kind of fresh in your memory, right? Mm. Like, I feel like it's kind of calling back and building off of the stuff that was established there. In terms of characterization, so there's a lot of really good stuff with our Fishman characters.
Yeah, I love this moment. Just somehow Vivi and Rebecca meet each other. I saw this. I'm like,
I knew you were going to love this moment. Well, not only that, but Vivi meeting the Tontara.
Yeah,
just calling him cute, and they're like, that's not a compliment to a warrior. Also, was Karu always that big?
I think he grew. I think Karu got bigger.
Yeah, I was like, he's huge.
Yeah, he's gotten pretty big. He's just like, he's just like, I didn't mean to be rude. He's like, in that case, it's okay. I let you see me because I know you know Luffy Land and his friends. It's like, oh, so cute. We're henchmen. We're pirates. Oh God.
Yeah, not doing a great job of hiding it. And of course, love. Really. Love that Rebecca's just like, I never knew I would have the chance to talk so much about Lucy here at the Reverie, but I guess it makes sense since he's been adventuring all over the world, and they're not in it to be heroes, so instead their bounties get higher and they get more infamous. But I love that Vivi is still confident, right? They won't change who they are.
Mm-hmm. And I love these little things like, oh, here's a refresher on Alabasta, which we don't really need that,
like,
but it's fun.
That was 700 chapters ago.
Yes, it was a long time ago. So we definitely people coming here might need a refresher if they didn't want to read all the chapters up to this point.
Yeah.
And I love how you get the sense that, oh, this is why Vivi sought out Rebecca, because when I read the articles about Dressrosa, I thought, that's Luffy and crew. They must have gotten it into their heads to save someone else this time. And they're like, yeah, that's right. And they're so happy.
That's right. And then, of course, the mention of Luffy catches Shirahoshi's attention. She's just zoops down as like, did I hear you talking about Sir Luffy just now? And I love that I think that's Mamboshi. It's just kind of like, just because they're talking about it doesn't mean they know him. He's a pirate. If anyone finds out you're friends with him, it's like, oh. And so I love Vivi kind of makes that calculation in her head. Like, well, if they went to the New World, they'd have to go through Fishman Island. And then it's just, they're like, oh, I love this exchange. It's like, oh, did you know him? Do you know, did you say Sir Luffy? And then Shirahoshi says, I owe Sir Luffy and his companions a great debt. And then you get the double thumbs up from Vivi and Rebecca. They just say, ditto.
It's so good.
I love it.
It's amazing.
It's so cute.
Especially because, it's Sir Luffy for Shirahoshi. It's just Luffy for Vivi. And it's Lucy for Rebecca. Each of them has that personalized way that they refer to him.
Yeah.
And it's...
Yeah. And then...
It's freaking adorable. I love it.
Yeah. And then speaking of, of side chatter, right? You've got Igaram and Viola and Fukaboshi all just kind of talking to each other. It's just like, so my goodness. Everybody's here.
Everybody's here. Speaking of, Sai is here, which I kind of didn't even realize. It's like, oh, is that Rebecca from Dressrosa? Oh, it's him. Yes. Chinchao's grandson. And, Sai and Leo are like, hey, brother, we're here too.
Right.
Why are you here? I thought you were a pirate. It's like, hey, same to you. It's like, after this job, I'm cutting ties with my country. So yeah.
That's great. And then, of course, we had it too good for too long. Because here comes Wapol. And of course, and Vivi, her expression immediately, she's like, oh, what are you doing here?
He's like, apparently he has a new thing where he's calling everybody hippos. He's like, you hippo. Quite a mystery, isn't it? And I love that we finally learned the name of his new bride, Kinderella.
Yes. And you might be confused at first, because all she says is, dig, dig, dig. You're kind of like... Wait a minute, and she's even got like that like freaky little like cat toy thing from the cover story.
That kept peeing on him until he made him a toy and all that stuff.
Yeah. And now here we have Wapol and his title card, the King of the Evil Black Drum Kingdom.
I love how his like they have the characters like in white or in gray to talk about what they are, and in Wapol's case it's black, and Kinderella because it's like he's a bad guy. Of course, we got the Wapol refresher, and even a little refresher about, he's able to use his Munch fruit to earn a fortune and build a newly minted kingdom, making him a monarch once again. Which,
isn't that wild how the cover story really kind of looped back into the main story that way?
Yeah, especially because he apparently earned so much money that he was able to very quickly and easily get back into the good graces of the world government to make him, viable for that again.
That's capitalism, baby.
Yeah.
This is like, all right. Yeah. And then, oh man, this is rude.
Oh yeah.
Wapol's like, how's that funny duddy King Cobra doing? Actually, I just saw him a moment ago. He did not look well. So that was me being facetious. And then now you understand Cinderella's gimmick where she says, oh darling, you're the funniest in the universe. Gold, dig, 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 dig.
Probably the best laugh so far with that. Just the gold dig, dig, dig. I love it. That she does not care about him whatsoever. It's just his money, which, okay, now it makes sense.
But it's so in character for them both. It's great.
I love it. It's, God. And then, of course, we get Pete coming back with Dalton. It's like, that's enough. The tasteless jokes. Looks like you built another nation of misfortune. And here's Korea with their guards, the rabbits.
It's like, the Lapins or whatever.
Yeah, the Lapins. And it's like, you're the old hag. Yeah. You're still alive. It's like, hey, do you want to know my youthful secret? I love that characters are still so much in character.
They're still, they still have their gimmicks. They still really feel like themselves. Also, I don't remember what Korea's pre-time skip design looked like. Did she have like the flame pattern on like her jacket and like her jeans?
I think
it's a good look.
I think she did, but I'm not. I don't know if she had it on her jacket, but I think she had it on her jeans. I think her design is mostly the same. Same with Dalton.
I think so.
Really change.
Oh yeah. Dalton, it doesn't really look that different.
No.
But see, I'm rather than Wapol, I'm going Vivi, of course, who's seen them before. Is like, I'm glad to see you again.
Korea's like, oh, if I knew you were princess, I would have charged you way more money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, and then this exchange, like, after so long, Wapple's like, hold it right there. Where does a servant like you get off telling me what to do? And then, Dalton getting into his hybrid form is like, we are on equal footing now. And it's just like,
and
my goat, my king.
Backs off or just backs down. It got me to snort because of that, because freaking Wapple. It's like, oh, you're going into the king role too, Dalton. I try. Wapple's so far behind. He's like,
always.
Okay.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, okay. It just basically just Wapple going, let me give you a life lesson, Dalton, you goody two-shoe. It's impossible to run a squeaky clean country. The higher you get in the world, the dirtier the business becomes. You'll learn that soon enough, and I will have my revenge. And it's all blacked out by Dalton, just ignoring him, saying, so, did you read the article about Luffy? I nearly stared a hole in the paper. So Dalton wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, of course. Well, and it's so wholesome how much Luffy is kind of the topic of conversation here, and just like how after all of this time, all of these characters just love him and the Straw Hats so much. Whereas, of course, but because he is a pirate, it is a little bit uncouth, you can't really speak about that openly, and so you got Rebecca and Leo just go, do you like Lucy? I bet you like Luffy Land. Dalton, he's the best. He's the best. It's great. It's so great.
So good.
And that's basically the chapter, except for this one last little scene.
Yeah.
That we have to talk about.
Oh my God. We're back at Impel Down. Level 6. Of course, it's Doflamingo. It's like, why the solitary cell, huh? Guy could get lonely down here. Or is this meant to protect me, Magellan? Have they come for me, an assassin from above? To make sure I don't go spilling the secrets of Mary Joa's hidden treasure. I hired Killer to silence me for good, just let the secret out. Power has such a short shelf life. It goes bad very quickly. And it's like, oh, damn. Will they kill Doflamingo? Because what is this treasure?
What does he know?
Yeah.
But that he himself understands, like, after what he's been through, that, yeah, like, hey, I lost everything. So, like, just let the secret out. Who cares, man? And, well... we cut back to Mary Joa. Well, Doflamingo just cackling it up from halfway across the world. And we have this figure in shadow holding a wanted poster of Luffy. And he's walking up steps very slowly. He opens up like this
a vault almost.
The vault, basically, yeah. And it's like icy. It's frozen over in here. And he walks in. And, just says nothing. And I don't know, he's got this very strange silhouette where he has this very kind of tall, almost crown-looking
cloaked.
thing.
It definitely has a head, like a smaller head compared to the cloak. It's like very long body from what it seems to like. Just very long cloak, a very long crown. To the point where you say he, I interpreted this as she. Just because it just felt like such a evil queen from Cinderella type figure, or not Cinderella from Snow White.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. Gender unclear for this character. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
I said he could. Still we don't know.
I figured once I saw this figure, it's like, this is what we don't know. This is what has not been explained yet.
The figure, I know maybe 10% more than you.
Okay.
But what this figure, what they see, what they open up into the vault is a giant straw hat, just completely like frozen over. I don't know what that is. Straight up. We have not come back to that.
I have no guesses whatsoever. It explains why they care about Luffy, because it's the exact same straw hat. It's just huge.
Yeah.
But what?
Why? And so is it
why
the
frozen?
implication, like, from Doflamingo's speech, is this the hidden treasure of Mary Joa? That if the secret was spilled, like, is this the thing that they were... Because that was the whole thing with the treasure, is that, like, because Doflamingo knew the secret, the world government didn't know what to do with them, so they were just kind of like, Like, he's a celestial dragon, but he's a pirate, but we kind of just can't touch him. And then there's also this, and it's like, if this is the treasure of Mary Joa, like, I don't know. Are they apprehensive because it's like it's a symbol of like a pirate? Because of course it was before Luffy's. It was Gold Roger's hat.
Yeah.
But even then, right? Like, that's still.
It doesn't. I feel like it's not a guarantee that it started with Roger. This hat might.
Yeah, be exactly.
Again and again.
Yeah, it suddenly gives the straw hat, like, as a symbol, way more significance, and I think Oda's gonna come back to this, right? He's gonna come back to this at some point.
You do not have a panel like this and do nothing with it. Yeah.
It's one of those things that has been haunting me for years. It's just like,
what's with the hat?
I'm just Yeah, I don't know what this is, and I've alluded to this kind of over the past 2 episodes of like, we're about to start getting into that stuff. That's like, you know, we've got like 250 odd chapters left of the manga, and like, there's just gonna start being stuff that I just like, I got nothing for.
That's amazing.
We are running into things that are just foreshadowing for stuff that has not been represented in 2025. I maintain that we might find out what this is by the time we catch up to, like,
it's entirely
by the time
possible.
We're done with this podcast, right?
Yeah.
I think that might be, but like, there's no indication of what this is, or its significance, or why it is the hidden treasure, or why this character in particular cares this deeply, or like has this interest in the straw hat. Like I said, we've learned a little bit more about who this is in the time since, but what connection that has to the straw hat? So,
oh my god,
the world of One Piece has so many mysteries.
Yeah, I couldn't even begin to predict what this is.
Yeah. I had a theory
to a giant, as best I can tell, or at least a very large.
And so,
one.
actually, that's actually something I completely forgot about, but I wanted to mention, because what did we learn about Oars Jr. back in Marineford? Was that like he kind of liked weaving, you know, the straw hat that he made was much more Japanese, right? He was more like kind of one of those stereotypical like rice farmer hats.
Yeah.
But that made me almost wonder if the straw hat was kind of a symbol of cultural like exchange and of like kind of cultural togetherness.
Ooh.
But that's all I got.
United world or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I had a thought for a while about what like who maybe that could have belonged to, but future events have said that my theory was incorrect. So okay. I am now back to going, I don't know.
The most I can think of is that the lost century was actually a time of true peace and equality and things together, and the straw hat symbolized that exchange and sort of symbolizes the lost century, while and then the reason it was gotten rid of is because of the takeover by the celestial dragons somehow, and that way they just affirm their powers. History written by the victors, get rid of that history that we're all together, have the separation stay, and so we can firm up our power and our mystique. But again, you have no idea if I'm right. Nobody knows has an idea if I'm right, or if this is a common theory.
Yeah. I agree with your theory. I think you're bang on 100%.
It's the first time I've ever thought about that, but just talking about the straw hat, the meaning of the straw hat, it does lead that way. So we'll see. We'll see.
We will see.
We're not even done with the Reverie yet, and honestly, we're not even done fully yet here, because we still have the SBS for this chapter.
Oh, that's right.
So, first up is Flaming Otachan appeared in chapter 905, right? He called Morgan's boss. He called Morgan's boss, so he's affiliated with the World Economic Journal now. And yeah, I didn't even realize this. I didn't click with it. But Flaming Otachan appeared not in his like little weird form or far away form that has been in the SBSs and whatnot.
Huh.
So yeah, that was the well-known cameraman Flaming Otachan. He used to be the captain of the Marine photography department, but after forgetting to take the camera lens cap off 57 times, he got fired. After that, Morgans picked him up. Currently, Flaming Otachan shouts "fire" for the WE, so World Economic Journal, and uses a camera without a cap. So there you go. There's Flaming Otachan made his first real appearance, kinda. In One Piece. So there you go.
And that's Morgan's my goat, giving good honest folks good work.
Next question is, so after Luffy beat Katakuri when they fought, Luffy covered Katakuri's mouth with his hat. The two of them were so cool. If I came across a naked Oda sleeping on the side of a road, I would cover your proof of manhood with the hat. It's like, Oda just says, okay. It has happened. I'm there occasionally, a naked old Oda-san sleeping on the side of the road. Thank you. But can you really hide it? Can you hide my proof of manhood with a hat? It's enough. It's taken care of. What the heck?
I did not expect to see Oda say, "Yeah, I've got a giant schlong in an SBS." I was not prepared for that, but Good on you.
And then the final question is, Oda just answered an erotic question, so doesn't that make your wife angry? And he says, "Oh, my wife laughs at anything, so it's okay. Thanks to your concern over my home life. Furthermore, the SBS is like this isn't my fault."
It kind of is, but I'll accept that excuse.
Yeah. Sure, Oda.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to chapter 907, The Empty Throne. And here's Orlumbus, who has a salute to his former country. It's like, hey, I'm taking the 56 ship fleet in a tearful departure. Thank you for everything. And as they're firing on him.
Get out of here.
They're my ships now. Sorry. I love Orlumbus. He's quickly rising to become one of my favorites of the.
He's such a weird jump from his depiction in canon material to this.
I mean, he takes everything so seriously, but even though he's really goofy.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But then, the implications.
Oh, boy. I kind of forgot the scene was here.
Whole Cake Island, Big Mom saying, what kind of joke is that? I refuse. And
that's not Big Mom saying that.
Well, yeah, that's not Big Mom. That is Kaido saying that. And it's like, what kind of joke is that? I refuse. And it's like, and she responds, it's not you I want anything to do with. If I don't take Straw Hat out myself, it's a permanent stain on my reputation. And he's got something of mine that needs to come back, which I believe she's talking about Zeus.
Zeus. Yeah.
And here's the interesting part. And let's not forget, you still owe me big time, Kaido. That was in the past, but it's a lifelong debt. And then Kaido,
and he doesn't answer.
I'm the one who's got a score to settle with the kid. If you come this way, I'll kill you, Lin. And she's like, I'd like to see you try. I'm just letting you know. Got that? Straw Hat's head is mine. And let's get along, just like old times. I was like, what the heck happened between these two?
Right? And not only that, I feel like this is sowing the seeds for really interesting implications of what will happen during Wano, right? Because you were kind of wondering, like, okay, if we're picking a fight with Big Mom, but then, it's time to skedaddle, and it's like, okay, are we just going to leave that? Like, is Big Mom going to come chasing after them? Sounds like she wants to, but Kaido's like,
yeah, wants nothing to do with that. And
yeah, so I think if these two meet, it sounds like all hell could break loose.
It's almost like she's suggesting a pseudo temporary alliance just so she can get her hands on Luffy.
Yeah,
which means he's up against
apparently
two emperors.
Two emperors, right? It's kind of like, oh
no,
yeah, and the idea that Big Mom just wants to make friends, right? She's like, hey, we used to be chill. Apparently they weren't. I love that because there was no real prior indication that these two had any sort of like prior relationship. But now I feel like just this conversation kind of it gives you just enough to at least kind of go, oh, they're not on such hot terms right now. And you know.
I mean, it's one of those things with Big Mom being the way she is. What if we used to be let's get along like old times? That could mean that he's an ex-husband.
Oh, God.
I don't know. It's not impossible.
I don't think that has been answered.
I mean,
I don't know. I kind of hope
don't see any
doesn't.
kids that we saw that seem to implicate that.
Yeah,
but also, I'm not putting out willing to say that with Kaido being as strong as he is, that he wasn't able to just keep the kid for himself.
Yeah.
So,
as far as I know, there is no allusion to them having that sort of relationship, but also there's nothing that's saying that they didn't. Right. And that kind of worries me. Now that you put that out there into the ether, I'm like, I really hope Oda doesn't go to be like, oh yeah. And I was just like,
Oh God. Of course, this call immediately panics the Marines. Is like, oh God, Big Mom's on the move. She's going to make contact with Kaido, which they were already panicking about when Shanks met up with Whitebeard. This feels like a bigger problem.
I was going to say it's really good that you pointed that out, because I had kind of forgotten until I reread them again for the set. I was like, oh right, they had a very similar reaction. They don't seem to like it when the emperors meet each other. They seem to think, oh God. And we saw, like, with Whitebeard and Shanks, it was sort of like relatively cordial until, you know, communications kind of broke down and a fight broke out. But it seems like it was like relatively kind of okay.
Yeah.
You know, Shanks kind of still rolled up at the last minute. Yeah. This does seem like a, oh God. And that they're having this conversation on an open line, and like they don't care about being overheard. It's like, stop us if you can. It's a challenge. And then like, what kind of force do we need to stop them? Admirals, warlords, warlords of the sea. And poor Selena's like, all right, want me to go? I'll head out. But Sakazuki's like, no, you know, there's an unknown military force in Wano. I was like, oh, the samurai, you mean? Which is, man, again, I really, the chaos is just like, it just doesn't stop.
No, it's like, what are the samurai like? Because we've gotten taste of it, but we have no idea the sheer power.
Yeah,
of
not
the
really.
samurai.
Yeah, and that's sort of, I feel like the implication here, which is really important, honestly. Even.
Sorry, I get so excited. There's implications, as we'll see with the Reverie, that really do make Wano to be far more significant than you're led to believe in terms of their place in the world. But go ahead with your point. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that they're. I was just going to add that, like, the world government seems hesitant to make a move because they're an isolated country. They're unaffiliated with the world government, so they're kind of like, we don't know what they're doing over there. Like, we're not gonna. They're just kind of like, oh God, but we're just gonna, like, we're not touching that.
Our problem technically. So
it's not our problem, but it kind of might be.
Yeah, it might be our problem. We don't know. And all the meanwhile at the Red Port, all the Marines that were acting as guards are chilling, eating. Mm-hmm. Garp's just laughing at the fact it's like, oh come, like they're squabbling over your grandson, Garp. It's like, oh, it's hilarious. No, it's no laughing matter. You're just going to sit back and watch these two of the four emperors meet. Why do you act like I have a choice in this? It's the Reverie right now. Any force capable of stopping them is dedicated to protecting the royalty. So it's like, what can we do about it?
Yeah. I do think Garp's just kind of like, whatever, man. It's kind of out of our hands. And then I got this other guy's like, this is Big Mom we're talking about. You know, she's already taken all that into account. So, so what's Mr. Sakazuki saying? And so the word from on high is the land of Wano is not a member of the world government and is outside of our jurisdiction. And Garp's just like, that's what I figured.
Who cares? And here's an interesting line that I'm like, what is this about? Because Hina says, Garp, speaking of Big Mom and Kaido, isn't the reason you're considered a naval hero? Oh, so you mean rocks? I'd have figured you were too young to know about that. The hell is rocks?
Yeah. Rocks will be spelled ROCKS going forward.
Oh, okay. It's fine.
Yeah, just to point that out. Yeah,
I figure it's a name.
Yeah, apparently. It's a name, yeah. Apparently before Roger, it was their era. Something over 40 years ago is the past in the past. Something that apparently has something to do with Big Mom and Kaido and Garp. And was apparently big enough of a deal that it was sort of like whatever they were doing, Roger was sort of the next generation.
How old was Big Mom? She's like 57, right? So she would be 17 around this time.
I think she's in her, I think she's 68.
Maybe. Okay, so she's definitely old enough that she's definitely in the range that she would be active as a pirate around that time.
Yeah, this would be sort of Big Mom in her prime.
Yeah. I obviously don't answer. $100 this Rocks has a straw hat.
I will not answer.
Yeah, do not answer that. But I'm just tossing out there. It's just like it's theorizing time. Oh gosh.
That is something that I do. We'll come back to that. It is significant that they're talking about that. This is the first mention of Rocks. We'll come back to that. Yeah. That's all I'm saying on that right now.
but it's one of those things, like, it's the implications again. It's like, even without the captain, their strength is growing. Hina's worried. It's like, there's no point in worrying. If they return, they'll be a threat. But if events will find a way to surpass our imagination anyway. Why are you grinning?
Yeah.
So I think what's implicating here is that did Big Mom and Kaido used to be as part of the same ship with this Rocks? I think that's what it means.
I think that's the implication here.
Yeah, which is wild to think about, and also indicates the whole friends thing. Don't have to be an ex-husband, so you can go by that.
Yeah.
So, gosh, I love that the fact that, it's not like pirates suddenly appeared with Roger. They were always a thing.
No, exactly. Yeah, they were always a thing, and we're seeing kind of these big players, right? That, like, I like that we're kind of just little hints at sort of what their prior relationships were like. And kind of, what it's like, we know them as the emperors, but like kind of what were they like before that? Kind of like how we know, like Shanks was, he was on Roger's crew, right? Like, that's not something that really gets brought up that much, but that, like, he had a pretty big start.
Yeah, that's for sure. So we'll see what happens there.
And Buggy, for that matter.
And Buggy. Oh gosh, but we return to Mary Joa as Stelly is being introduced to the empty throne where he has to make his oath. And he goes, I get to sit there. It's like, no, surely you jest. No one is allowed to sit upon that throne. It is the empty throne. You see, the kings of various nations are on equal standing, and therefore they each make an oath not to seek control over the others. The 20 weapons that guard the throne were placed there as an oath by the first 20 who created this world 800 years ago. That throne is located at the very center of the world, and the fact that none sit upon it is a symbol of peace. While the greatest authority in the world is the 5 elders, who are the most high-ranking of celestial dragons, and I don't know why I didn't clock that the 5 elders are celestial dragons, mainly because they didn't really act like it. There is no one king of the entire world. What?
Which
just dropping this.
This is such a cool piece of world building, right? And it's cool for storytelling reasons. We'll talk about next chapter. But just the concept of sort of like the establishing principles of the world government, and yet you can kind of understand for just how very, very flawed and very corrupt that we've seen it. Is that it is sort of built on a foundational principle of equality of some level, right? At least for the
royalty,
the 20, for at least for the founding. I was going to say the founding fathers, but I guess that's technically true.
Kind of true.
Yeah, and it's really funny that Stelly is kind of our perspective character for this because he's just kind of like, oh man, I want to sit up there. Just kind of
I want to be king of the world. I want to see. Yeah, it's like, oh my God,
exactly. So. Yeah, but very, very, very cool symbolic gesture.
Also, since it is in the set, very interesting to have that point at the top of the throne, like how it comes to that point, considering what we see.
Yeah,
it's almost like Oda's doing a little hint.
if you're crazy enough to count, because this is a detail that we already know, there's actually only 19 swords up there.
Oh, yeah. Good old Alabasta.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. But then freaking Celestial Dragon, speaking of Charlos.
Yeah.
Shows up at the Mingling Courtyard and has his slave capture Shirahoshi, put her in chains. And Vivi's immediately like, "What do you think you're like trying to stop it?" And Rebecca's trying to stop it, and the other royalty is like, "No, stop them! What do you think you're doing?
Yes,
they're celestial dragons, like they're royalty, kings of the world, and they have no power over these guys."
Yeah, and it's so sad to see this too. And of course Rebecca's like, "So what? Let go of me," right? Like, and the size is, common sense doesn't apply to them. If you anger them, it could completely destroy Dressrosa, which really just kind of the operating level here of the the royalty of the various, the folks of the lower realms versus just, any sort of just dinky, just dumb, ugly, fat little celestial dragon. And of course, we have Saint Charlos here again, and he says, he says, "I finally caught a mermaid, I'll make her my pet." And it's just, poor Shirahoshi's just crying. And it's just
she's getting manhandled. Right. Like, it's...
Yeah.
It's genuinely distressing to see this. It's like, oh God, what can stop this?
It's gross. And yeah, you really do feel like you feel hopeless, and that even, like Leo and Sai are running in and they're like, well, okay, if they try to do something, it's going to cause, an international incident, they could have their countries completely destroyed. And it's, they're all like, don't do it. And before they could do anything, both of them get knocked back by who else but Rob frickin' Lucci and his co-workers, Kaku. Yeah, and Stussy. Yeah, so they're all co-workers. It makes sense that they're all CP0.
I like that Kaku got a promotion. I like that he has a chance to like get himself a better fight. And honestly, Stussy feels like an upgrade over Khalifa. I love
it's funny, because
Stussy's look.
No, yeah, it's a good look for her. It is funny that it is just like we don't see any of the other like CP9 guys. Like, it's just Lucci and Kaku. So I guess I guess the implication being that the rest of them are probably, they might be split off somewhere, but
yeah.
Or actually, I don't remember. So maybe they are part of CP0.
They sell off and say they were going to do their own thing, or like I'm very curious how Lucci ended up with CP0, because that's not been explained.
Yeah, and I feel like especially like where their cover story left off versus here is still very, very confusing. And I remember, I think somebody in our comment section one time like tried to explain it, and I've already forgotten how or why. But from their perspective, Lucci is just like, I think some gratitude is in order, and Kaku adds on, like, by intervening just now, we saved a number of nations from disaster. Even children know not to cross celestial dragons. And, of course, the celestial dragons are the gods who created this world. And, all of the people here are kings of the lower realm. It is the natural order for the gods to have whatever they desire. And he's just like, that's right, you dummies. It's just, of course, I feel like Lucci has gotten worse. Like, he is just like, I work for celestial dragons now, and I've accepted my lot in life, and I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid.
Pretty much. He's just like,
yeah.
He was all about law. He has learned nothing from losing to Luffy. So that's interesting. Mm-hmm. And of course, Vivi goes, doesn't make logical sense. It's like, gods are not bound by logic. And it's just, gosh, Vivi's demanding the return, and Neptune is like, stop, Princess of Alabasta. Thank you. I will not forget the kindness you've shown, but as painful it is to admit, we must abandon our hopes. And Neptune's like, I'm going to crush these worms and return to the seafloor.
Yeah, dude. This scene characterizes Neptune so much, and it's so good because we have never seen him this pissed before, right? Mm-hmm.
If this is what the surface holds, then I cannot bring my people here. And Vivi's like, this is not the surface. This is not humanity. And he's just like, I'm sorry, Otohime, but I have no choice but to do this. And you can see Otohime's
and he's crying.
Memories, like, it just sucks that this immediately happens. And of course,
And that,
let's be honest, he stands no chance against Rob Lucci.
Of course not. Yeah, but that he and again, like these flashbacks where he's thinking back to Otohime, and he's like, we should find a way to overcome it together. Like if we did that, we might change the destiny of the children for the better. And it's and then even Shiroshi's like, you mustn't, father, you mustn't hold hatred in your heart. And it's like, it really is just like Neptune has been through so much and is trying to overcome so much, but he cannot abide by while his daughter is taken away.
Your kid is literally being kidnapped. Of course you can't hold back.
And she's crying for help. Right, yeah. And it's just kind of like, I can't do it. Right. And I love that we are kind of playing with that, just like I guess sort of political nature of it all, and of the, like, what it takes for the fishmen to kind of join, I guess, like, humanity on the surface. And it's such a like heartbreaking contrast for that, like compared to that scene when they saw the beauty of the world, when they were going up the gondola and saw like the giant, they saw the sun, they saw the giant horizon, like, and it's just it's tragic. And I really do feel like the more you stop and appreciate the nuts and bolts of Fisherman Island for what it is, like, the harder this scene hits.
Oh yeah, and
so
it's also the fact that
we're doing it here.
It is so ridiculous that the princess of a nation that is taking part in a government meetup, a meeting. These are the highest officials in the world, and even they are powerless to stop basically one of their own becoming a slave.
Yeah, who is also an ancient weapon, by the way.
Oh yeah, that too.
Although I guess they don't know that. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Thankfully, we have a mystery person show up and just crack Charlos over the face with a club, and it is so satisfying.
I don't know if I will ever get sick of seeing this little rat just, like, getting smacked in the face, first by Luffy, now by this person, and, it's just, they're like, who's that? He hit a celestial dragon. Like, I don't know, but I'm out of here. I guess that's Wappo.
Yeah.
He says, I'm out of here, you hippos.
And he just goes, forgive me for this embarrassing spectacle. As a fellow celestial dragon, I beg your forgiveness. And he's like, wait, a celestial dragon? And he goes to the slaves, unhand that princess, you fool. I apologize, everyone. This clown has injected fear into an occasion for socializing in good cheer. You may have already forgotten me, Neptune, but in fact, I owe the Ryugu Kingdom a great personal debt. I've been waiting the day of your arrival for so very long. And he's like, are you? I am the dunce of a celestial dragon who washed into your realm 10 long years ago. And there he is, Saint Don Quixote Miosgard, the guy who washed up there, saved my life, you fools, and Otohime put her life in danger to save this celestial dragon. And damn it paid off. He was actually changed by her words.
And not only that, he's a Don Quixote.
Oh my God.
Was specific. I remembered that he was a Don Quixote, and I thought it was weird that they didn't say that during the flashback. I was like, wait a minute. So there you go. There you have it.
A branch of the Don Quixote family that remained in as a celestial dragon that's not part of Doflamingo's father's line. Is this his father that did it? It wasn't the entire Don Quixote line.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it is ever explicitly stated how he is related, but he has the same family name, so
yeah,
really
branch and cousin, but brother, yes, whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah, the idea that, like, yes, that one singular act of kindness did actually change the fortune of the fishermen here, where it counted the most. I love it. Like, that's good. That's good storytelling.
It's amazing that because he's despicable. He's another celestial dragon. There, you can see the way he's acting. It's like, why are we doing this? But somehow he was able to self-reflect, get his humanity, as he says himself, and now wants to put his entire power at their disposal. That is incredible.
We've learned that the celestial dragons can, in fact, change, and yes. I like this too because we kind of saw it with I don't remember his name, but Doflamingo's dad, right? Because
Yes.
he wanted to change, and he wanted to leave Mary Joa to kind of understand and kind of live the life of a normal person. And so he had the right idea, but was also just just horribly naive.
Yeah, and while Doflamingo wasn't able to change, his brother, who I'm blanking on his name because there's so many names going. Corazon.
Yeah.
Did change. Was directly affected to the fact that you kind of forget that he is a celestial dragon.
Yes.
And it's so funny that every celestial dragon that we've seen have a change of heart or try to be better has been a Don Quixote.
Yes. They're all great except for Doflamingo, which is so funny.
It's wow.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And that's not even how we ended off. There's still other crazy stuff here where we go into the hall.
One more bonkers reveal.
The Hall of Power with the 5 elders, and they're just like, what do you want? Why would you come all this way? This is the Reverie. Given your standing, you should have nothing to do with politics. We only arranged this time on your request. And he says, and I appreciate that. Then let's hear what you have to say. Leave us, guards. And it's Shanks saying, there's a pirate I need to talk to you about. What are you doing, Shanks?
What? What are you doing?
Because we have no idea based on the rest of these chapters. I have no idea. It's revealed later, but what the... what is Shanks up to?
No, dude, the reveals here in this, just one thing after another. Every chapter ends with something completely nuts, and I love it. And so the sort of implication here that like Shanks has enough pull to talk to the elders, right? Like that's not nothing. No, that's huge. That they're the greatest power in the world, and that that they're kind of grumbling about it. Like you should want anything to do with this, but it's a big deal.
I bet this fuels the theories of people who think Shanks might turn bad in the end so much.
I'm sure it did. And so there really is kind of two sides to this, right? There's the Shanks' bad side, or like the Shanks has ulterior motive side. But like I would also be remiss if I didn't point out that there was a theory that we don't see the identifying features of Shanks here because he's cloaked.
True.
We see specifically the
eye that does not have a scar.
A scar. We don't see the scar, and we don't see his arms.
True.
So there's kind of this 50-50 discussion, right? Of like what is Shanks up to, or is this even Shanks in the first place?
I love that we can go so that far because of just clothing from Oda. Like, good God.
Yes. So it's just like one of those things where it's like, is it intentional or like? And then it just last set where he said like, we'll be meeting soon, Luffy. Like, it kind of brings that back into like, is Luffy the pirate that he wants to talk about? Is it Big Mom and Kaido?
Is it Blackbeard?
Is it Blackbeard? Since we were already dealing with 2 of the other emperors, is this the other 2? And it would make sense if it were Blackbeard. So it's just
so many possibilities, and we have no idea what it could be.
We're not gonna, yeah. So just tuck that one into the back of your head for a bit.
Yeah. But
so continue.
No, I was gonna move on.
I was just gonna say. So, you enjoying this arc so far?
Yeah. This is insane. Oh, God. Yeah, we're still not done with this chapter yet, as we do have another SBS. First up is in chapter 847, Paraspero calls Nami Candy Chan when she's soaked in candy rain. Did he lick her after that? He shouldn't notice that and intend to do nothing. Please draw Nami being licked by Paraspero. I was like, what? And Oda goes, sure, who would draw that? I thought it was a postcard from a middle-aged pervert, but it's a young girl? Because it says PN girl who aims to be a writer. Aren't you being indecent? It says the SBS is a refined place for a healthy author and healthy boys and girls. Why do you taint it? What the heck?
And everybody's, I don't know, man. He's Japanese reader.
There's something else.
Yeah.
Next question is, hey, Oda, I thought of something cool. Bluefish are really yummy, but poisonous, right? But if you have Reiju suck out the poison every time after you eat it, it's delicious and you get Reiju. It's two birds with one stone, right? A two pure 25-year-old. It's like, I see. Well, first you need to get poisoned by a blowfish, then you'll need Reiju. But she can't come, you perverted bastard.
All right, I guess I'll just die.
Yeah, he's like, and by the way, eating blowfish at a restaurant is safe. What the heck? Oh gosh. Dear. And then finally we have pirates 40 years ago and Garp were used to talk about Shocky before. Is there some relationship between Shocky and rocks? And they just says, that was 30 years ago and from before 40, volume 40. Why do you remember that? I don't know a thing. Whistles.
No comment.
Oh
next.
My God. I love how
next
pervert. Lore.
Man, readers are crazy, man.
Right? How do they pull out this stuff? Like it's nuts. All right. Let's get to chapter 908. By the way, we're an hour in and we've only done 2 chapters. Chapter 908, The Reverie begins. It's time for 3 p.m.
More like The Reverie ends. Got him.
Yes. That's weird to think about. But yes, 3 p.m., the planning chart for pirating activities. We got to make sure we got our plan ready to go. I love how organized Olympus is.
He's so obsessive compulsive. I love him.
He's amazing. Oh, gosh. All right. We get into the chapter itself. The crowd is cleared out from the mingling courtyard after everything that just happened. And fortunately, we have our little princess helping out Shirahoshi, and Mancheri has healed her up thanks to her powers. So it's a lovely little power. It's like, this must be the meeting of the world's largest princess and the world's smallest princess, both at once.
Aww.
So
adorable.
Very sweet. And Neptune's just going, so some are bad and some are good. That would be the same way it is among fishmen. You have saved me from giving it all up for loss, Miosgard. And Miosgard says, hey, I will stay at Princess Shirahoshi's side for the week of the summit. I'm just glad that my station at birth is finally helping someone for once. And
what a stand-up guy, man.
Right? Like he's being that personal guard to have that power there. And it's like, and you know, Leo's immediately like, hey, if you say to order, we can beat up anyone we want. It's like, yes, I will gladly take responsibility for any fight undertaken to protect the princess and her companions.
All right. It's open season.
I love the design change too for Miosgard, because, you know, it's been 10 years. So he's naturally changed and he still has some of his elements, so his base look is still there, but because his improved personality, he is slightly more handsome.
Yeah. He doesn't look as just ugly and mean and nasty and entitled as he used to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just amazing what like a little bit of self-reflection can do for you.
Yeah, and I love these elements that Oda plays with constantly. Of course, we have Pell here is apologizing that he wasn't next to Vivi to help her out, and she's like, "Well, where's Dad?" And he's like, well, he's with Fujitora, the one who sent that letter, to have a discussion with King Riku of Dressrosa. Which, we know what Fujitora wants, and we know that we have, one kingdom affected by a warlord, another kingdom affected by a warlord. Interesting.
Oh, man. Well, no time for that, because we got other kind of crazy details to talk about.
Yeah, outside the front gate of Pangea Castle, there are 3 gates, each with their own layer of security. And here is Queen Dowager of the Sorbet Kingdom, Connie. It's like, well, if it isn't the Sorbet Kingdom's Queen Dowager Connie, and beyond this gate is the land of the gods. You cannot pass, I'm afraid. It's dangerous to be here, so please return to the castle. So it's a celestial dragon gate. You can even see their symbol there. They cannot go there.
Oh, yeah.
And turns out here comes Charlos all beaten up. He's upset about Mjosgard. It's like, I haven't heard the last of me. He's all beat up. And, time to open the gate because Charles needs immediate medical assistance. And as he opens the gate, here is his friggin' father, who we again saw before. Yeah. He's like, I heard there was an incident, so I came to get you. So here's Rosward. And
which sometimes spelled Roswald.
Yeah. At that point, though,
yeah, Japanese.
Yeah, Connie immediately starts running away. It's like,
yeah. Well, and she was so nice looking at, she's like a nice old lady. Now she's got the scowl on her face.
Yeah, it's almost like she's saying crap.
Yeah.
And so she disappears, and here we see him riding on top of Kuma, who's in slave gear.
Is brutal. Yeah. And this, he's this probably hits, doesn't it?
I hate this. After everything, seeing what Kuma did for the Straw Hats, seeing how he protected the Sunny up until the deal was met, and this is what he went off to do.
Yep.
I am viscerally upset at this.
Not only that, but you can see he's got stab wounds, he's got swords poking out of him. And of course, Roswald or whatever, he's just kind of oh, that Don Quixote Mjosgard, he's a real crank, a celestial dragon rather than a single slave. Between him and Homing, which I think is
his father,
Doflamingo's dad.
Doflamingo's dad, yeah.
Yeah. Who left for the lower world 30 years ago. The entire Don Quixote clan is a mad bunch. And then it was oh, father, you have the invisible slave, Kuma. And it's it's finally my turn on the rental list.
So gets passed around amongst all of the celestial dragons.
All of them. Yes. Yeah. And before we move on, I did want to note, because his title card says, Warlord of the Sea, former revolutionary officer, and former king of Sorbet Kingdom.
Yes, I did. I did notice that, which that was where Connie was from as well. It's what's that about?
Yeah, right. It isn't.
Have we heard about the Sorbet Kingdom before? I feel like we have, or have we not?
No.
Okay.
No.
But
I'm 90% sure we have not.
Okay. It's very interesting that Kuma became a revolutionary, especially because considering he was a friggin' king. Which, fair, Kuma is a king.
Yes, he is a king.
And, just friggin' this dude just smacking Kuma over with a hammer, stabbing him, just showing that you can do anything, and that doesn't matter because he doesn't feel, because he's invincible.
Yeah. So that's why they love him so much, that they pass him around, because he's the best slave ever, who doesn't complain, he's invincible, he doesn't whine about anything. So it's a kind of a sad state of affairs. Yeah, it is.
And then we see that Connie was actually Bonnie, where she says, I didn't think I'd run across him right out in the open like that. Well, I made it inside. You'll pay. I swear it. I swear it. She's just looking at it, because I have to imagine she's talking about again. Roswald, not Kuma. Or Rosward. I have to assume that, but I'm also really happy that me clocking Bonnie for some reason seems to be paying off, because she is she feels important. She just all these scenes where nothing is really shown beyond that seems so important for her, and nothing's been shown yet, but it's I called that one. She has some connection. Yeah. So I don't know what that is, but the fact that she has some connection to Kuma is extremely interesting. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm oh, okay. She gets to do something later.
We're clearly the Sorbet Kingdom connection was my oh, okay. We're putting this here for a reason. Mm-hmm. So,
oh man,
and all the while, it's one thing, to see, Bonnie kind of swear revenge. It's another thing. We cut to just underground. Sabo's pissed. He's about to blow their cover. Yeah.
Oh God, he's like, stop raging. It's like, how can I not? Look what's being done to our comrade, to our kind-hearted Kuma. And you get that image of Kuma just smiling. It's like, no,
smiling. Yeah,
don't do this to
it's
me.
what he used to be when he had something to live for, and then now he's just been reduced to this. Is just sad. And apparently, well, it seems because they're like, like, oh, we all feel the same way. We're not going to leave poor Kuma in that state. It's the reason we're here. So
it seems like this whole operation is, instead of like, it's the declaration of war, but it's also a rescue mission in the same way that Luffy rescuing Robin was both declaration of war and a rescue mission.
Kind of, killing two birds with one stone. And Karasu points out, it's like, the problem is just freeing him won't return him to the Kuma of old. And as Morley adds on, the Kuma has been victimized by the world government his entire life. And Lindbergh, it was because he was the king of an allied nation that they used Kuma as an example. That even the hardiest man will turn out like this should he defy the gods. The Celestial Dragons have CP0 and the Navy HQ on their side. We screw up and we get caught. If we screw up and get caught, and Sabo says, no, we're not going to get caught. We either succeed or we die.
Damn.
Man, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there is. There really is. We get a little refresher there for people who are not aware about how the world is split up with the Red Line and the Grand Line. And you have the world nation being made up of a majority of the world nations, numbering 170 in total. Of those, 50 of the chosen monarchs gather once every 4 years here in the Holy Land for a grand meeting known to all as the Reverie. And we get little glimpses of other members where it's like, the nation of Wano doesn't participate in the government. It's practically a lawless land. And then we get Stelly in the background, just like
he's just kind of like, oh. Yeah.
Doesn't even count as a nation.
In the headlights.
It's like, we need the money. Navy doesn't run on air. First the attempt on Big Mom's life, and now Kaido's next. Trouble seems to follow him around wherever he goes. The Straw Hat Luffy, and I love how Brodus is like, "Yeah, you're telling me." Brodus,
he seems the most openly like, "Yeah, man, Luffy's great."
and even Cobra's like, Luffy, and. The position of chairman rotates, and this time the chairman of the this world meeting Reverie is, I forget his name, but Abe Lincoln.
Hamburger.
That's right, Hamburger. from our American
Ballywood.
Ballywood, yeah. Oh my God! And just we get this British guy going that. Oh God! Germany gets represented by Hitler. Oh no!
We have straight up Hitler here.
Why are they just?
Which I think
poor Germany. Actually, I just had a vision of our future, how we're going to be represented in the future, and that sucks. Oh
God,
that sucks.
Oof. Yeah,
we deserve it, but it sucks.
It's funny how the Reverie arc ends with the beginning of the Reverie, as they say. My esteemed fellow monarchs, let us commence with the discussion about this beautiful world of ours.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. But we don't see that. Instead, we have our 5 elders just saying, so the meeting has begun. They say that Cobra, King of Alabasta, desires an audience with us. 800 years ago, the Nefeltari dynasty was the sole bloodline of the first 20 to remain in the lower realm. In other words, they are traitors. As he cottoned on to
Whoa. Hold on.
Definitely taking a step there.
It's like, oh, okay, they hate him.
Oh, yeah, they do. Has he cottoned on to something?
That's new.
Let us pray it does not derail the talks, especially with this discussion of Big Mom and Kaido. It has been 2 years since the Paramount War, and the roiling will not cease. The world's equilibrium cannot be maintained forever. The time has come for a great cleansing. Like, what the?
Well, boy, if that doesn't sound downright genocidal.
Yep.
I feel like the 5 elders are just mask off. Like, they used to, like... We haven't seen like that much of them.
Yeah.
They kind of just were like, they grumbled. Yeah, they were just old men who were kind of at the state of the world, right? And now they're like, kill them all. Cobra, I hope he hasn't figured it out. And you're like, figured what out? It's like they are traitors, just straight up like that. All right.
And then we go to the Chamber of Flowers within the castle, where we get a name for that figure from the before. Great Emu. Mm-hmm. They have arrived, and they took the bounties, those pages they were holding of the bounties, and they sliced up Luffy's, they sliced up Blackbeard's, and they have the blade straight through Shirahoshi's face, while a single picture remains of Vivi. Which concerns me. Because
yes, it should concern you.
Because here's my thought on that one. We know Shirahoshi is, the weapon.
An ancient weapon.
Ancient weapon. Yep. Is Vivi an ancient weapon? Is that why?
Oh, God.
Is that the focus? Does Vivi have some sort of equivalent power to an ancient weapon?
It's certainly, like, that just skyrockets Vivi's importance just, like, through the stratosphere.
And I love
she's the standout. Yes, of course, we love Vivi. And it's like, oh, great, she's apparently really important to this emu person. But also that she is also among, the wanted posters of Luffy and Blackbeard, and a photo of Shirahoshi is like, what is the connection here? I feel like Luffy and Blackbeard make sense. They're infamous pirates. Shirahoshi, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Emu knows that she's an ancient weapon.
It would not surprise me if Emu could read the.
It would not surprise. Yeah, I can't. I do not know for sure either way. But if I have to throw that out there, I feel like if that's probably why Shirahoshi's there. And then it's like, well, in that case, and then he would know that Vivi is from the Nefeltari dynasty. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, she's from the bloodline of traitors, basically.
Yeah.
From the perspective of the Celestial Dragons. So it's like, what is going on here, man? The conspiracies
is still like we saved her. She's in the background, but now she's coming back to the forefront. And oh man, it all of a sudden makes sense why Odo's like, here's pictures of Vivi. Here's what Vivi's doing, hanging out with animals. Staying part of the front covers, maintaining like she's still around.
Yeah, and even before we had the concept of like the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, like Vivi was always considered a Straw Hat. She was considered part of the team. No questions asked, whatsoever. And so now it feels like, oh, we're gonna bring it all back together now, aren't we? Like that. I think just like that one offhand little detail from Doflamingo in Dressrosa, where it's like, oh yeah, the Nefeltari dynasty, they're technically of the first 20, but they dipped. Now is suddenly like that is of significant importance to a great many people, it seems. And while this emu person is holding holding the photo of Vivi, they're walking up the steps towards the empty throne, the throne that's supposed to be. There is no one king of the world, that throne. And the elders say, "Oh, great emu!" They get on their knees and say, "The 5 elders are at your service."
And these are the 5 most powerful celestial dragons, and they are kneeling before this person. And again, the hat matches that pointy part of the throne, which is like, oh man, I didn't even clock that before, but looking at it again, it's just like Oda having that putting it down there. And this worries me the more I think about the Vivi being there. Have you decided upon another light to be erased from history? Simply state the name you wish stricken. Oh God, Vivi, I'm concerned.
Again, downright genocidal. if I had to say, any sort of indication that we don't know that you could have maybe filled in the blanks. Maybe the the elders, oh, they're politicians. They're kind of on the level. They at least from the perspective of the world government, they're kind of they're kind of observers, right? Like that was kind of how they seemed. And now they're like, we swear fealty to this one thing.
And all of a sudden we have this one true beacon of power that who knows how this person is this important. It is out of nowhere. And yet
it's pretty out of nowhere, isn't it? But it completely works. And I think it works just because we knew so little about the elders. We've mostly been focused on like the Navy side of things, but like just the little peeks at like the conspiracies within the world government and Mary Joa itself are like slowly starting to come together. And it is, I think you're getting a little bit of a better view at like just kind of how things operate politically within the world of Mary Joa. And also we don't quite see it, or it's too zoomed out to see. You have that thump sound effect from Emu, which I think is to imply that they're sitting on the throne.
Oh, right? They're absolutely sitting on the throne. The way they were ascending and all that.
And so it's to me, this is such a good, clear, succinct way. Like it's such good storytelling to one chapter ago introduce the concept of the empty throne as sort of like this is the world government's kind of founding principle, and then to say, just like everything else, it's all appearances. It all means nothing. There is actually a king of the world, and it's that guy.
I love it.
Yeah.
It feels, it doesn't, like, it's out of nowhere, but it doesn't feel out of nowhere, if it makes sense, because it feels properly built up. As we said, we got these 5 elders, we got this implications here, we have this introduction, and it's just enough that we're finally pulling back the curtain on all these things we just didn't know about before, and to have this final pull before the end of the Reverie's arc, as it technically is. We have,
it's nuts.
I like my thought was that Blackbeard would be the final thing they have to take on in order to get the One Piece. That theory is out the window. Hello, new final thing they must confront.
Well, I am personally, I'm pretty 50-50. Like, I think, to me, it's an order of operations thing. Either Emu is going to be the end, or Blackbeard is going to be the end.
True.
Because I think because and again, there's no indication to this, so I feel like I could speak pretty freely on what could happen. Is a matter of like, I guess it depends on what you think. Does the plot line surrounding the world government, is that the thing that ends first, and then they go to Raftel to find the One Piece, or is it the other way around? Or like, do they just presumably, the Straw Hats, is the final confrontation even at Raftel, or is it before, right? Like, is it, it feels like we have the pieces, but we don't have the order yet.
The way I can kind of see it going, and again, pure theorizing, is that it's after, presumably, Luffy obtains the One Piece. And so you have this this dichotomy where you have the King of Freedom versus the King of Control.
Right. Yeah.
Or
the king of the pirates versus the king of the world.
Yes.
Or queen. Yeah.
Whichever Emu ends up being, and I think that is poetic. I think I can see Blackbeard having, because Blackbeard again was so similar to Luffy when it was first introduced that I actively liked Blackbeard, and I wonder, especially with fate and all that other stuff, if Blackbeard is just aware of this secret history, of this secret power, and that's why he's just been so corrupted and willing to go so far and go like, I will send myself to the depths of hell in order to take this with me. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe a little cliche, but I could see it happen to a degree, but again, don't know.
Yeah. I think I mostly agree with that. Yeah. And I feel like that Emu had both wanted posters of Luffy and and no other pirates. Yeah. Just Luffy, just Blackbeard. I feel like that is everything you need to know. Like that they at least from Emu's perspective, seem to be like they are the most significant figures in this whole operation. So, and I think the both the similarities and the differences, when that, like, I think back to that scene when we first met Blackbeard, and it was like, oh, the cherry pie's so good I could die. Oh, it's so bad I could die. And I feel like Oda did purposely set them as kind of opposites for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what that reason is, but like that feels like much like the Empty Throne, kind of like, here's my kind of simplified way of saying, like, here's the role that these two characters might play. Or in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. So
I love the theorizing. I love the implications. I love the potential. It is so good.
Yeah. This is... We're in chapter 908, and we just got our final boss, right? We got our final boss. At least like it. From the world government, the celestial dragons, we got our final boss. Like that's crazy to me.
It really is. It really is. Also puts the power of Kizaru and all the other admirals and fleet admirals and everybody else into such perspective.
Yeah. They're all puppets, just relative to Emu. Like, it's just all like everybody's below them. I will just for posterity. So because we're still pretty unclear on Emu's gender. We have heard them speak in the anime. Oh, okay. Still unclear. And the casting is question marked.
Oh, they have not revealed who they cast as.
Yeah. Neither.
I can see them asking Oda, and then he'll tell them, but
Oda
hasn't
saying, you
can't say.
I will show you when Oda when Emu speaks in the manga. I will show you what they sound like in the anime, because I think it is intentionally unclear.
That's man. Oh, goodness. Crazy. Oh,
yeah.
My God.
Well, that's the end of the episode. We hit an hour and a half.
God, we have 2 chapters left. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, enough about all that nerd crap.
Well,
let's go to Japan.
Yeah, exactly. But before that, we do have another SBS. This time, you showed us Luffy and Ace at 40 and 60. How about Sabo at 40 and 60 years old? What does he look like in that case? So I'm going to send over the picture so you can actually see it.
All right.
And it's just like, it's
all right.
Great to be really free. And if I've heard about the Straw Hat incident, tell me. And then you get if things go wrong, where he's like more of like a devilish, like villain type thing. And then he's just like a scraggly old man who's going crazy.
Yeah.
60. What the heck? Oh gosh. And
I kind of like these concepts of like the good future and bad future.
If things go well, if things do not go well. The only other thing they have in this set is ages for a lot of the other Linlin kids.
Oh yeah.
That I mean, they don't translate it in what they have here in the on the wiki, so I don't know their names. Mm-hmm. But you have ages, like what number son or daughter they are, and then their actual age, ranging from 42 to 8. So yeah,
that makes sense.
And if we have a 42-year-old, Mama's definitely up there in age. So would make sense. So let's get to it with let's continue on with chapter 909, Seppuku, and
which indication as any where we're moving on to next.
Seriously. Also, I love how 3 p.m. Let's plan our pirating attack. 4 p.m. First time pirating campaign. Let's launch the attack. So he's raiding a village
right on time. Yeah.
He's very punctual, that Orlumbus.
I feel like he'll come to our aid right at the nick of time.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But we're still not with the Straw Hats, even though it's technically
You would
Wano's
think
time.
we'd be starting at Wano, but we have a nice little like mini narrative before we get there, and it's I really like that Oda put this here.
Yeah, because turns out Cat Viper is really good at sailing the seas because, well, he rode with Roger. So he's very good at navigating them. So all the other minks have to wait outside other than Cat Viper of this place because he's going to recruit Marco the Phoenix for the whole thing with Wano. You guys all look too scary, so you guys have to stay here. And it's like we gotta do all that. We got a little refresher on Marco.
Isn't it nuts that One Piece is so long that we constantly have to have here's a refresher on this and that.
And Marco was kind of the most recent of all these like refreshers.
Yeah, we are building in recap episodes into the manga.
But we learned that apparently on the other side of the cave behind those falls of this island, there's a peaceful little village. It's not a place for a group of big, scary warriors to march through. So, they're like, wait, the boss looks scarier than we do if he gets mad, but his smile is cute. True.
Very true. I agree.
So, find out what Marco's whole deal was. Turns out he was the ship doctor.
Yeah. Which I guess makes sense that he's a phoenix, that he can heal things.
He's a phoenix. He's like, my regenerating flames only have a small effect on others. I've patched you up, and your natural healing speed should be faster now. So you should be able to leap off that leg by tomorrow. And of course, immediately starts playing with a little girl. He by I mean this giant lion thing that we saw an impel down.
Oh, is that one of the jailer beasts?
I don't know if it's a jailer beast or not, but it was definitely one of the beasts that was held down there to like. That I think Luffy had to fight.
Oh, I don't think it is.
Oh, you don't think it is? Okay.
No, I don't think it's a jailer beast.
No, I don't think it's a jailer beast. Those are all looking a little freaky. This is like one of those guys that would just like send in the monster and and Luffy just takes care of it. But I
don't remember this thing at all. I just have to point that out. I am shocked by this information right now. You could be making this up, and I would just I have no choice but to believe you.
Just, that face looks so familiar to me, so I'm like, I think that's Impel Down.
it is a very specific face.
Yeah, I think we got a bit of an origin point here, but it's still interesting. But Marco is just looking like a happy little guy, and you got all these old people like, my back hurts, my knee hurts, my brother's playing pranks, Marco, and just like
it's just. He's the village doctor. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's a nice shift for him because Marco was a really likable guy when it came.
He was maybe the most like other than Ace, like probably the most standout out of Whitebeard's crew, and it makes sense that he was the first division leader.
Yeah, so this is when we learn that this village was built by Whitebeard. Countries that can't join the world government because they're too poor to pay the heavenly tribute tend to be lawless islands by and large, suffering from pirates and slavers run amok. When the country collapses, it creates a fresh generation of orphans, and Pops was one of them. And that's why I was pointing out earlier that Wano is so interesting, because it is not part of the world government. It does not pay the heavenly tribute, and they do not have that issue.
Yeah.
Which is why Wano's quite significant.
More than you know. You're on the right track.
Oh my God. But he went to sea at a young age and became a pirate, but he always cared for this place and secretly pumped dirty money and supplies into it all throughout his life. He never had a family and his old friends are gone, but this island will always be his home. And I love how Cat Viper immediately points out, it's like, in a dirty world, there's no good or bad money. It's just money. It's like, well, thanks for saying that.
Yeah, real as heck.
Oh yeah, it's like after the Paramount War, we at least wanted to protect this village Pops had cared so much for. When Blackbeard invaded, we started the Grudge War against him. So Blackbeard tried to come to this place, and they stopped him. That's what they fought with him for. But because he has the Quake fruit, couldn't do it. He took everything. Yep. So, it's like, I think I see what you mean. So this is kind of like a final memento of your Pops, huh? He's like, yeah. And Shanks put his grave not too far from here. Pops he's crying at this moment. It's like,
right. Oh man, I was not expecting to cry at more like Whitebeard characterization.
He's so
and here
good.
Of all places. Yeah.
I love that we knew Whitebeard for such a short time, but he has such a far-reaching effect.
He has such an impact, and I love that, especially now that we're kind of in this like Four Emperors saga, and just I feel like it recontextualizes kind of Shanks and Whitebeard's own interactions. Like, could you imagine Kaido or Big Mom being like, "I'll take care of Whitebeard's grave"? No, right?
There's respect there,
and so like, yeah, like they did kind of operate on a level of respect that I think is really just like I think kind of worthy. I don't know, worthy of respect.
Mm-hmm. And I love how like they again characterize it. It's, you know, Whitebeard was a cheapskate. He always wanted other people's drinks. He never paid the whole tab at a restaurant, but they were okay with it because they all knew that he was putting his entire share of any treasure they got back into this place. And that's what you even get, which is cool in itself.
Yeah.
But then we get mentioned the fact that, all right, we have a new warlord named Weevil going around calling himself the son of Whitebeard.
Of Whitebeard.
That true? I don't know about Whitebeard's history with women, but this guy seems to have won an inheritance. And I don't think there isn't any for an answer. I figure he'll come after me and this place soon enough. And so that's why Marco can't leave to help with Kaido. Mm-hmm. Which, good excuse for that. Apparently, Weevil's mother, Buckin, is a former pirate. 30-something years ago, close to 40, she would have been on the same ship as Pop. So what the heck is with this woman?
Yeah, again, we're talking. I feel like this period of 30 to 40 years ago.
Very interesting.
The pre-Roger era seems like it was just something.
Mm-hmm. But we end this meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I love that Cat Viper kind of ribs him a little. It's like, you got another memento of this to protect. It's like they're certainly not acting like it.
So yeah, unfortunately, Marco cannot come along, which not too surprised on. It's like, hey, if you're going to meet with Luffy after this, I've got a message to send along. It's like, all right, I'm all ears. You said he's going to Wano? Yep. And that's all we get. Because now we are in Wano.
And boy, are we in Wano. We get it, like, we start with, like, this very, like, cinematic opening almost, where, like, the curtains opening, you got, like, the bang sound effects, you got, like, somebody just letting it rip on a shamisen. Yeah, somebody with, like, a fox mask, and then the curtain opens, and it's just beautiful. You got, like, the title card in the background saying Land of Wano, where there's cherry blossoms, I mean, this shot in the manga is beautiful. This shot, I'll send you the anime version. Like in color, it's incredible. Like, this is our first shot. Like, you know, we had the noble saying, "Oh, Wano, it is a lawless land," and then you see this, and you're like, "What is this?"
They don't know. They have no idea, and it immediately feels like there's just a shift in the presentation. Like Oda shifts his art style to appear more like what is it, old like woodcut paintings.
Yeah, like ukiyo-e and stuff like that.
Ukiyo-e.
Yeah.
Which is just
I mean, this
cool.
This whole arc is just everything ever about Japan just crammed into one.
Again, you get the sense that Oda's really excited to get to this and show this off, and just I mean, it really does look incredible. And something you pointed out that I did not clock is is this bang?
Yeah. So all of Oda's signature like da-doom sound effects, which, you know, they're kind of implied to be very very like drums, almost like very bass, you know,
sudden
very low,
and impactful, and bam, they're here.
Yeah. And now that we're in Wano, we're in the land of the rising sun. We do things a little bit different here. We've replaced our drums with shamisen strings. So now all of our dodons are now bang.
That's such a good detail.
It literally the entire arc. The entire arc is bang.
I love it. I love it.
It's like manga is not an audio visual medium, but he still manages to put these touches in here, which I think is why it's so cool that like the shamisen playing will play some other significance later, but I think as sort of like our kind of setting our visual language in comic form is so cool.
I love it. and it's time to start seeing what the Straw Hat's been up to. At least the ones that did not go to Whole Cake.
Yeah.
And first up is Frankie sporting a stag beetle haircut now. I kind of dig it. Where he's, of course, working as not of course, but he seems to be working as a carpenter. And it's like, his boss is like, hey, you guys, is this your work up here? It's like, yeah, you bet, boss. Is there a problem? Yeah, you got the right. It's perfect. I'm paying you compliments, so take it, you scoundrel. And I love this boss where he has like the 3 nails in his, like, holding in his teeth, but he also has one shoved up his nose just to hold on to it.
There's details about this random guy. I don't remember it exactly, so I think it'll come up in an SBS later, but it is a little bit of a deep cut.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I love how it's of course it's. I mean, you bet. Much obliged, boss. You can take his whole coot, and it's carpenter, Franosuke.
Yes, of course. We're in Wano, so everybody's names are all Japanese sounding now, which is just like everybody's undercover, but it's so cool. Like it's just we are just going full Japanese for a whole arc.
And then we got Usopp next, who of course showman, producer. That whole thing we've seen in the past with the movies, taken up to the next degree, where it's like, come on, see my blade and see how she cuts this paper. 8, 16, 32, 64, as numerous as sunset of Wano. A mere touch and it splits the skin, but witness a miracle before your eyes. With the simplest dab of my toad oil, the cut is perfectly sealed. No blood at all. And there's like, he's literally a toad oil salesman, which...
Yes.
Which is a great pun on the fact that he's a liar, and I don't know if that actually works, but it's just, here's Uso Hachi.
Yes. All of the outfits here, by the way, are just bang on.
Oh,
right?
It's so good.
They are wonderful. And that Usopp, he even has a little toad on his head.
I have to get the toad oil somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we get Robin's turn. And lower your hips more, lower your arm more. Your arm is too low. You dreaming girl, I want to see more effort. At the rate you're going, there's no way you'll receive summons from the Shogun's chamber in the short amount of time you want to. And you can actually see the effort on Robin's face. It's like, yes, ma'am. And she's gone geisha and going by Arobi, which I love is the fact that it's a mostly a rearrangement of her name. So, put O at the beginning and get rid of the N.
Yeah. The O is a very kind of respectful, feminine, you put it at the start of a name.
Mm-hmm.
That'll come up a few times.
Great look for Robin.
It's one of my favorite looks. It almost doesn't even look like her.
I know. I didn't recognize her at first.
Yeah, it looks like a completely different character, but like it just, man, I love this. And of course, we get this flashback from Kinemon, who he's saying, listen closely. The Shogun of Wano is named Kurozumi Orochi, and the officials who do his business all have ties to Kaido. Thus, they are arrogant and corrupt, but if you should harm them, the news will make it to Kaido's ears. We must not allow our existence to be known until our allies can assemble and preparations for the battle can begin. First, you must pass yourselves off as locals, and then quietly go about your duties. And as we cut to that, apparently his lordship the magistrate has caught the Tsujigiri. Oh god, I have to explain what a Tsujigiri is. Oh my god. A Tsujigiri is literally a word for somebody who kills a random passerby to test out the sharpness of a new sword.
Oh.
And I just looked this up to clarify to make sure I was correct. And actually in Pokemon, the move Night Slash in Japanese is called Tsujigiri.
Oh, that's cool. That makes sense why it's a dark move now.
So that kind of gives the and it usually a Tsujigiri strike at night, but usually and some unsuspecting poor person.
Yeah.
But apparently they've caught a rogue samurai who will now be forced to commit seppuku. Thank goodness his reign of terror claimed 3 nighttime victims just this month. Oh, how I hate that terrible Tsujigiri. Cut down my husband in his prime. And you turn the page.
And it's freaking Zoro.
Yep.
The populace has been terrified of your carnage, Tsujigiri. Not only will this restore peace, but it seems we've caught a grave robber as well. In the midst of a pirate upheaval, 23 years ago, we lost the remains of the legendary swordsman Ryuma, which... we still haven't seen Moria.
Yeah, funny how that all came back around.
I still love that
I guess,
we read that short story at the time that we did, featuring Ryuma, and just it's so perfect how that worked out. But
yeah, and I love that, like, the first thing as soon as we get into Wano, it's like, oh yeah, you know, Zoro has a historical heirloom with him, and of course he's going by Zoro Judo here. And they're like, you know, you don't look so old. You know, did you extract this from the thief? It's like, oh, one wonders how pristine its bite is. In my hands I hold the great Shusui.
And this dude's literally drooling looking at it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I would too. And of course Zoro's it's just like, this knife's got no hilt. Verily. And of course, you know, they're trying to speak all old-timey Japanese. And it's like, seppuku blade is short and has no hilt on purpose. It is not for fighting. You don't need one. It's like, you do know how seppuku works, don't you?
If you have any pride, admit your crime and make amends with your death. My role is to lop off your head when you're done so you don't suffer. Oh, well, in that case, so long.
He's just like, all right, time to die.
Sure. It's like, just don't wail and... This the guy that was drooling over the sword. It's like, just don't wail and blubber. The samurai's true worth is in his end. It's like, we have witnesses. We have evidence. This death gives you far more dignity than you deserve. Rejoice in your seppuku. And then we let the shamisen back again as it's being played. Zoro raises the blade to stab himself. You see the guy raising up to lop off his head to prevent the suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Zoro says, I can smell blood. And it says, you're the killer, at the guy that was drooling. And he cuts through him and the building with the seppuku blade. Just going, sorry, Kinemon.
Sorry, Kinemon. So, man, also, this bread is it's so badass.
It's sick. It's so cool.
I feel like if you're the kind of person who thought, like, you know, Dressrosa was cool, but, like, the fight against Pika, it was all right. Like, this is already, I feel like, kind of making up for that.
Yeah, I think Zoro is going to shine in this arc.
yeah. I feel like this is this is Oda's way of saying, like, all right, you wanted Zoro, you're gonna get Zoro. So here we go. This is a statement of intent. Here he is already causing trouble.
Of course, we do have an SBS, so we're not done yet in this chapter.
Yeah, oh my god.
So many SBSs. First up, Oda, I got a quick question. Charlotte Montdor and Charlotte Opera, those two have been in the story, but the names of their devil fruits haven't been revealed in the story. Could you please tell us what they're called? So, Montdor's is called the book fruit. I'm quickly looking up what the actual translation is because, of course, the wiki is going with the Buku Buku no Mi, which I could have assumed that. So he's a bookman. Yeah. He can hold living things as live specimens in his books, fly through the sky on books, drag people into a book story, even appear as the boss of one series. So he has varied power that can make things sufficiently interesting. Opera's is the Kuri Kuri no Mi, making him a cream man. So I'm going to guess that's like cream. Yeah, cream fruit.
Yeah. Kuri as in kurimu.
Yes. He can control the cream that comes out of his body. The sweetness carried in his new attack concepts make him a troublesome enemy. So there we go. Got the official names.
Cursed thought. What if the whole story is just the book fruit?
Oh.
I would hate that. Please don't do that.
It'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would be terrible. Please don't do that.
Next question is, what are the hobbies of Smoker, Tashigi, and Hina? And Smoker likes ceramic art and gambling at the casino. Tashigi likes reading sword / katana books and paper cutout pictures. Hina likes horseback riding and clubs.
Okay.
So there you go.
Cool. That's cute. I did not. I guess it made Zoro. Not Zoro. God, Smoker being a gambling man. You know. Oh.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one, I got to send you another image for this because it's saying, I love Crocodile, Mihawk, and Doflamingo. Will these three not have kids and remain single forever? If they had kids, what would they be like? Oh, the marriage experience, huh? I don't know if there'd be kids or not, but anyways, please enjoy what I guess they would look like. And that's all for the SBS until next volume. So Crocodile's, you get to see Crocodile's son first, who just looks like sort of like a typical nerdy kid.
A nerd, yeah. What the heck is going on there?
He goes, it's saying, "I finished my homework, father." In the middle is Mihawk's daughter saying, "What do you want, rabbit bastard?" Which, yeah, I can see that. And then Doflamingo's son saying, "Papa, someone took my allowance. Can I have some money?" Has a wad of bills behind his back.
I love all these kids. This is great.
It's really good.
I kind of hope this is a thing. We see more of these.
I love, it's a interesting, it's a unique idea in terms of
also,
that.
What is Doflamingo's family like? What is he hiding behind those glasses?
I know, right? I'd love to know that. But
I would love to know.
We do not get that information. Otherwise, they have listed off a ton of different birthdays from suggestions from people. I keep looking for mine, but mine has not appeared yet. So at least not in this set. I don't know. I've not actively seen it, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. Final chapter of the set, as we're nearly at the 2 hour mark. Chapter 910, Onward to Wano. And yeah, Orlumbus may have attacked the town, but he realized, they were poorer than anticipated, so now we're giving them supplies. So
we're redistributing wealth.
Yeah, he patched up the buildings. He's feeding the people. They're all like, "Oh, thank you so much." And even his ship, his crew is just like, "Oh, here you go, kid. Have some bread." Orlumbus, great guy.
doing a good deed, I gotta say.
Orlumbus might be my favorite of the crew after this.
He's kind of the goat. I will not lie.
Yeah. And honestly, I thought we were going to go at the rate of never seeing Luffy this entire set, but nope. We started off
finally. And I love this chapter specifically for the character interactions. This feels like peak classic One Piece.
Because Chopper's trying to do some repairs, which I like because he likes to hang out with Usopp and has helped Usopp repair before.
It's adorable.
Brook is handling the steering. Nami's, of course, navigating. It's the Reverie they're learning about. They're kings from all over the world. And, of course, the star of the show this time is the Ryugu Kingdom because of Neptune and his children are making the kingdom's first appearance in 200 years. And they're saying Shirahoshi got major cheers at Red Port. Big step forward. She's like, she went up to the service. Wimpy Hoshi is getting a lot tougher. It says your grandpa was her personal escort, Luffy. Oh.
He just doesn't care about his family at all.
Also, attention to detail. He gets a doom.
Yeah.
Because he's Captain the Straw Hat Pirate, Straw Hat Luffy, 1.5 billion berries.
Yeah. Which is, man, what a title card. Just seeing him chilling on the sunny, hanging out, having an onigiri. Just, all right. Yeah. He's 1.5 billion.
And Sanji's back to his old self, just losing it over Vivi. He's like, you're even more lovely than before. Just getting in the way of Nami.
Yell him. Nami's like, move it.
It's like, it's been forever since we saw Vivi. And it says there's a mingling courtyard. Look at the pictures of all the royals and the guards. Hey, if Dressrosa's there too, then there's Viola. Ugh, Wapple. Hey, it's the Acorn guy, Dalton, Rebecca, Sai, all these people. And Sanji's like, all the princesses getting together and talking about me, I bet.
I just love ignore him. Nice to dream.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's only one woman thinking about you, Sanji.
Go back for her.
Oh gosh, but yeah, I love how Nami points out, hey, look, it's Korea, and he gets so emotional about it. And Sanji just goes, she hasn't kicked the bucket yet. The Chopper just kicks him.
He just kicks him. Yeah. Oh, and then he cuts out a picture of her, which is so cute. But Nami is just like, I wasn't done reading it yet.
And then Sanji cuts out other pictures of the other women so he can look at them.
Yeah.
It's like, the paper's all cut up. It's like, wait, is this an article about Kaido? And Big Mom is, what? I can't read it. Give those pieces back so I can read it.
Just classic One Piece chaos.
Yep. So they have no idea that Kaido and Big Mom are kind of meeting up.
Yeah, they have no idea Big Mom is on the way.
Oh yeah. No response on the transponder snail just yet, so gotta just keep going. And Nami's like, okay, I'd love to keep going forward, but I'm getting a really bad feeling from these wave patterns unique to Wano. I've never seen anything like them. And the wind is getting stronger, the waves are getting taller, and we see, oh god, again, that landscape, the way it's drawn is so freaking gorgeous.
It is just a classic Japanese painting, right? It is like, oh, we're getting close. It's like, it's starting to feel really Japanese all of a sudden. And that's when we get our first, outside of Wano, where our first bang sound effect. So it's like, oh, we're encroaching on it. And we have a giant octopus behind Nami this whole time.
I didn't even clock that. It just it didn't even know for whatever reason.
It's just great.
You can even see his tentacle coming in the page before, as Brooks talking. It's like, how's the transponder doing? It's like, okay, that's good.
Yeah, well, and I love, because you think Nami's going to bring it up. He's just like, but the thing is, Brooke, what? Kinemon did warn us. Does not notice that he's there.
Yeah, apparently this weather is constantly happening, so it's really hard to get into Wano because of that. So we just have no choice but to go through it.
Yeah. It makes sense that they're a closed-off nation.
And then finally the octopus makes itself known. I love Nami's small little freak out face.
Yeah, and of course we get the very Japanese, the It's, oh my god, it's so good.
And then all of a sudden giant koi fish start coming up alongside the Sunny. And it's like, wait, why are there koi in the ocean? They're freshwater fish. How are they surviving? And it's like, why do you think the logic applies to them? It's like, hey, Sanji, koi tastes good. Oh, yeah, if you wash them in hot water, serve them chilled. And there's koi cuckoo, which you stew it in a miso paste. They're also good as tempura and simmered in sweet soy sauce. Cool, I'm going to catch one.
Yeah, of course, he just goes right off. It's like, Luffy, no! Don't struggle. Of course it's struggling. He's like, all right, Luffy is now separated from the rest of the group.
Yeah, he can manage on his own, and he just get those crazy, gorgeous waves. The wind's so strong, they got to furl the sails. And the water is so pure that they can look down into it and see the koi underneath. That's a cool visual.
It really, really is. It's even in black and white, right? It's amazing how much Oda is able to convey.
And the current is going so strong that it just takes them along with the koi, and they start climbing a waterfall. It's like, oh
yeah, just straight again. It really does feel like all of these panels just feel like a painting. Classic Japanese painting come to life. They don't even know where the koi fish are going.
Might also explain why the wave patterns are so weird, because we got the waterfall coming down and the river flow going toward the waterfall. So how does that work?
Don't worry about it.
So also there's the fresh water that helps the koi handle all this. So Luffy actually gives up on trying to capture koi. He's like, okay, those guys are tough. And ship's going to sink, so we got to do something. It's like, oh, hang on, I got this. And he grabs a hold of two of the koi going up and just helps launch the Sunny up the waterfall. But they find a whirlpool at the very top, and they get washed ashore, and the Sunny is just capsized on the beach.
Yep.
Still in one piece.
And I love that whole time, the octopus is just there, and he's just gone. That's just it.
Why? What is he doing there?
Yep.
Got no clue whatsoever. But a helpful crab pinches Luffy's nose and wakes him up, and they've been separated. Luffy's with the Sunny, everybody else is gone. Is this Wano? And what's going on here? And that's when a lion creature shows up. It looks like one of those guys that's always in the statues. Going up. It was maybe a dog. It's like, wait, are you fighting another animal? Oh, here comes another big one. And here comes a baboon with a samurai sword with a katana. It's like, okay, this is definitely Wano, and that's how the chapter ends.
That is maybe the best place for us to end.
After all these revelations, we just end with baboon with katana.
This is all right. This is Wano. So. We are officially in the Wano arc, which is crazy, but I feel like we got like next week is definitely going to be our first like real proper like set. Like I feel like we got just enough of a tease.
I'm satisfied with this. Like it's like I want to read more, but it's also like, okay, I can manage this.
We gotta breathe. We just did like 2 hours of crazy world building and twists and reveals. Let's just like settle into things. I don't think next week will be 2 hours long. I really feel like
I don't think so.
We're gonna get back into like our classic One Piece groove.
It seems like it. Although it's really funny to me how the setup for this reminds me of the beginning of One Piece Odyssey. How they all got separated.
Oh yeah. They all got separated. And this is really interesting too, because like Wano, for the most part, like I'm probably forgetting little things, but I feel like in broad strokes, like I kind of got it. Like this wasn't that long ago. Mm-hmm. So like I'm kind of feeling like, okay, I kind of remember for the most part how this is going to shake out. So I don't know. I'm just excited to finally start this arc. There's been so much build up. You've heard so much about Wano over the years, and we're finally here. And it's one heck of an introduction. So
my big question is going into this is how does this arc support, what is it, 130 chapters?
140, I think.
140 chapters. That is an arc and a half of anything typical that One Piece has done before.
Yeah, like it's worth, just putting it out there. This is the longest arc in the series. Just hands down, straight up, no debate. Like this is it. This is like Dressrosa and like an extra 30-40% on top of that. And that's the thing, right? Because I feel like while we were covering Dressrosa this year, like it didn't feel long for the most part. It really flew by. And I'm wondering,
you can really see its acts and its structure, and it felt like there was always something interesting going on, so it didn't feel long. And this, you could say the same thing about Whole Cake, where Oda was able to keep the pacing up. So I'm actually rather confident about the pacing going into this.
Yeah. I think any complaints that folks tend to have about this arc, I think if you're not reading it week to week, I think it is mostly fine. I'm really interested to see how it will shake up reading it at 5 chapters a week. But like I have a sneaking suspicion that like we're gonna be moving things at like a pretty brisk pace, especially knowing some of the milestones we gotta hit by like certain chapter numbers. We're already not that far away from like some of the really like the first hits don't take too long to hit.
My God.
Yeah. So like I really think we're just going to hit the ground running next week is how it feels like. And that is all to say, like, to not even, to talk about, like, how bonkers of an arc the Reverie was at a brisk, like, basically 4 chapters of just, like, some of the craziest world building and reveals that we've seen so far. We are moving on to a new part of the story, and also, much like Zoe, kind of setting up for the finale, which is an insane thing to say.
I mean, it's our first real attempt to take on a big an emperor. We kind of had that with Big Mom, but the crew was not. The crew was not all together. This time they're together. They're at their strong. They theoretically should be at their strongest. So this is the first real attempt.
That is a good point to know, right? Like the Straw Hats are here. Law and his crew are here. We got the Minks. We got the Samurai. They had that the supernovas that had the Alliance, and then they all got Kaido landed on them. Like that's going to play into things here. Like there's already kind of a lot of different things at play, and sort of like this. I feel like has the proper build up to like no this is sort of like. This is the big one, like this is it. All of our sort of plot lines ever since Fishman Island, ever since Punk Hazard, like everything's kind of converging right here. So I'm excited to talk about it. And also Big Mom is on the way and Kaido is not having any of it. So like, I hope you're ready for chaos.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I hope you're ready for chaos.
Bring it on. I am so excited.
Yeah.
This it feels like a momentous occasion just because
it really does.
Just building to this for so long.
Yeah. This is it. And again, like, we can only say this for a few more times, right? Like, we are starting a new One Piece arc. We have 3 of these left.
That is true.
potentially 4 by the time we get caught up. I would say maybe likely 4. But like, that is pretty wild. You know, we are running out of arcs. It's just that this one is stupid long.
Oh, I love it. So, yeah, with that, I believe we've said all we've wanted to say about chapters 906 to 910 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube, or simply BitNerd on BlueSky. And Brandon, where can everyone find you at?
I am Brandon Bovia on Twitter and BlueSky, talking about anime, manga, games, and my job. And, you know, yeah, I'm just excited to finally be here at Wano. The next few episodes are going to be really good. I keep saying that. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm looking forward to next week and the next few weeks after that. I cannot believe we're at Wano in 2025.
Crazy. So if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derrick Bittner. That's DERRICKBITNER to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early, as well as patron-exclusive bonus episodes. And make sure to return next time as we discuss chapters 911 to 915 of One Piece. So until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
Have you decided upon which light is to be extinguished, Great Lord?
Who'll be cleansed from history?
Speak, Lord, and share their name.